Namaste everyone. I'm Dr. Madhav, radiologist. My warm greetings to all of you from Bengaluru. For some time now, I have been weighing a few thoughts about the ways of bringing medical fraternity much closer to the community. I also come across individuals who make significant contributions that enhance the lives of others. I wanted to introduce these success stories around us to you all. The best way to do this would be directly hearing from them. So the idea behind this series of interviews is to recognize and celebrate each success around us. These are the people who toil their lives with the goals to make this world better. These are the common heroes who matter to us and who made the difference. These are the people who would prefer to be identified by their deeds, the ways they were achieved, and the values behind them. Welcome to my show, LifeScan with Madhav. Let us celebrate success with values. Hope this would inspire many more amongst us.
Namaste everyone. Warm greetings
Good
to
evening.
all of you. Welcome to my show, LifeScan with Madhav. Today we have a special guest, Dr. Mangesh Thete. Welcome to you, sir.
Good evening. Thank you.
Today we'll have a straight chat with Thete, Dr. Thete here. So, Dr. Thete, how come a Nasik boy ended up in studying in Rehuri, Nagar?
Yes. Actually, Rauri is my education place. My father was doing service in Department of Botany as head of the department there. And it's a very wonderful campus of agricultural university with best of educational facilities. So because of his uh, uh, stay there, I could learn very good things and educational experience in Rahuri.
Great. And you said he was a botanist, is that right?
Yes, he was PhD in botany, and also he has done his thesis from Pusa University, New Delhi. He was
Great.
a great agricultural scientist.
Oh, wonderful. Then how come you moved to Nasik for your practice? At what stage? I mean, I guess you studied in Pune. So where was your further education and when did you decide to move to Nasik?
Actually, I stood first in my college as well as my taluka and got admission to our alma mater, BJ Medical College in Pune. Did my graduation there. After that, I was very fortunate to do my post graduation in Armed Forces Medical College in radiology. And after I finished my post graduation, I got opportunity to work at Civil Hospital Nasik as a radiologist, and that's how I got to go to Nasik, my native place. It was always pleasure to work for your own people.
You said you had stint in AFMC also. So when it comes to traditional rivalry and war cry, how difficult or how easy to choose which war cry between BJMC and AFMC?
Actually, as you know, BJMC is the most famous college in Pune region, and AFMC is a pride of nation. So I was most privileged guy to get studied in both these colleges. But hardcore, I am a BJite, and I always rev the war cry of BJ Medical College. That is BJ.
Great, that is nice to hear. And you said
Yes.
in Nasik, you did your internship, you said. Then
Yes.
what stage again you decided to take up radiology? Maybe because, I mean, a couple of decades ago, probably radiology might not have been the most attractive branch then. So, but still you chose radiology. Was there any, specific thought behind that or?
Yes, during my internship, I could realize that we have to wait very long to get appointments of ultrasound, as well as those days CT scans were very limited in Nasik city, and all this techno savvy investigation really fascinated me. Also, what fascinated me is the office work, kind of work in radiology department. So that sometimes you can work and shut down your shutter and go back home and enjoy the movies also. So these,
Probably it was the story decades ago, but may not be now.
yes,
What do you say?
absolutely. Now radiology is the backbone of every clinical management. So we are all on the toes every day and night today.
And you might have heard the recent discussion. So I just want to know whether you also would like to wade into that. So you are a 70-hour per week guy, or you would like to work only 30 hours per week?
Now I'm quite a senior in practice. So right now I'm working only 30 hours. But
Okay.
yes, initial days, even more than 70 hours, we used to work 90 hours also.
Okay. So you seem to agree with Mr. Narayana Murthy, who said
Y-
the youngsters need to work 70 hours.
Absolutely, absolutely. Youngsters always need to put more because they are the backbone of our country.
I understand. And how do you balance? You said, you used to work hard, particularly in your younger days, and of course even now. How do you balance the work life and the work stress, particularly? How do you manage? What are your techniques to manage these things?
My best technique is to pursue your hobbies. Is the best technique to be a stress-free radiologist. I always keep on writing, which is my passion. Do exercises. I love table tennis and trekking. So these really take out my stresses in life.
Great. You said table tennis, then you might be the happiest guy recently. It is the first time that we won a medal in Asia, thanks to
Yes,
Mukherjee pair.
absolutely. We are proud of Mukherjee pair. They could beat a very mighty giants in table tennis, and that's a really proud moment for our country.
So, who are your role models in table tennis, or who
Actually,
inspired?
Kamlesh Mehta is our role model in table tennis. Recently, a year back, Kamlesh Mehta got Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award, which is the highest sporting award in our country. And his perseverance in table tennis, his consistency is really inspiring for me.
Interesting. And any specific learning from you know table tennis table to radiology table, Mangesh?
Absolutely. Table tennis really teaches you how to concentrate on your work because you have to watch the ball every now and then. And your movements has to be absolutely swift to return the shot by your opponent. So you have to be always on the tips of the toes to play table tennis.
So it's both the focus as well as the reflex. So
Absolutely.
both in table tennis and radiology then.
Yes.
And you said you write a lot, you love writing. So you write about, I guess, more about the health aspects and the public health part of it. So how do you find time, and which is the preferred time you draft your articles, and how does it go? Or do you write on the weekends, or is it evening, or is it the morning with a cup of coffee?
Actually, when you have passion, you need not find time. The passion always gives you time. I keep writing whenever there is no patients in my clinic, whenever I'm at peace, or sometimes I just use the WhatsApp to voice calling or something to write my thoughts. I was also part of Radiology Awareness Committee of Indian Radiology Association and did a lot of awareness about the radiology branch as the common man is not knowing much about the radiology branch, who is the radiologist and what work exactly he performs. I have written many popular articles in local dailies like famous dailies in Marathi, Sakal, Lokmat, as well as Divya Marathi.
Oh, interesting. So you there is no particular time in the day where you write. So wherever you find time, you draft your article. So
Correct.
you would write it down with a pen, or you type, or you type it in a mobile, or you type it in your desktop.
Many times in Marathi, I write it down with the pen, but now with these recent gadgets, you have got voice typing. which is a really wonderful invention, which helps us to type in a neat way rather than writing on the paper.
I guess you are a perfect fit for radiology. We really need to be quite nimble enough to get adapted to the speed with which the technology is growing, both in the
Yes,
core radiology and allied branches.
absolutely.
Great. And now, taking the discussion on the radiology part, you said you have been chipping in with your efforts to create awareness among the public. I think that would help us not only in terms of the direct awareness and the patient care, and even from the business point of view also. Generally, radiology does not have pricing power, and added to that, the equipment costs. And you are much aware that all these expensive medical equipments get manufactured in neighboring countries. So, what is your thought or any specific roadmap you have to push so that some kind of manufacturing activity happens, particularly with expensive equipments like CT, MR, ultrasound in India?
Yes, absolutely. That's a younger radiologist always find to get these cross-sectional equipment in his own clinic because of the cost factor, as you rightly said. Right now, all these giants in European and American companies are into manufacturing of CT, MRI.
Mhm.
But as India is coming up with the Make in India movement, if these equipment getting started manufactured in our own country will definitely reduce the cost of these equipment, and we will have more and more good equipment with affordable prices to the radiologist. So
Absolutely.
it's always good.
So, as you rightly said, finally the benefit gets passed on to the consumers and enlarged to the society.
Absolutely.
And you did refer to the young radiologist. Probably one more area we need to see is the ease of doing business of radiology. Say a youngster wants to open a diagnostic center tomorrow. This evening he thinks and makes up his mind. So ideally he or she would like to have his her diagnostic center open in next uh, maybe 7 days or so. So is it possible, in the sense, considering the constraints we have in terms of the licenses or maybe some other compliances? So is there any thought on that to make the things easier for a young radiologist?
Yes, red tapeism is always a problem for a young radiologist getting his or her center registered at local bodies or at government bodies. What I have tried in my organizational career to make all these registration as a single window system or to make them online. Recently, I met with Dr. Bharti Pawar, who is Minister of State for Health, Government of India, and appealed to her and requested and handed over our letter to make all these radiology center ultrasound registrations online so that the process will be very fast and there will be no kickbacks involved in the registration process for younger and newer radiologists.
Interesting. And Mangesh, you are well known for your organizational abilities. And you said you are one among the early movers as a radiologist in Nasik. Would you please tell us, how radiology has evolved, or the radiology infrastructure in Nasik has evolved over last, maybe a decade or two? Because that would be the
Absolutely.
usual course probably in rest of the towns as well in India.
Yes. When I entered in Nasik, probably I was around 18th or 20th radiologist. And today we are more than 170. So the
Yeah.
number has gone high. As well as when I entered in Nasik, there were limited cross-sectional opportunities in Nasik, very few CT scan centers, and probably there were only 15 ultrasound centers. That too, only black and white ultrasounds where machines were available in Nasik. But simultaneously, in next 10 to 15 years, the ultrasound machine has gone very high in number, as well as the technology is evolving. Now we have state of art 3D, 4D, 5D machines, as well as we have 3T MRIs, 128, 250 size CT scans. So we have all the state of art radiology equipment today as on in Nasik, and we are giving the best facilities to the patients here for diagnosis.
That is nice to hear, and nice to see that you have been a part of this quite a long, impressive journey. And when it comes to internet or computers, we had, like anyone else, even medical fraternity, also had some kind of fear. And today the buzzword is artificial intelligence. So, is it going to augment us?
That's a tricky question, Madhav. Many people or newer or younger radiologists are fearful that AI might replace a radiologist in future. But as an experienced radiologist, I can say no one can replace a human mind or human brain, because human brain is supreme who has invented AI, and not the AI invented the human brain. And clinical judgment or acumen always aid to the diagnosis. Just images reading is not the diagnosis. So clinical correlation can be only done by human mind or human brain. So AI is always there to assist us for better diagnosis, but I'm quite sure that it will never replace the radiologist.
That is music, Mangesh. That is music. And coming to one more contentious issues, we have heard enough of turf erosion, but now, I mean, this evening, let me speak only on turf expansion. So, and one of the things is, or lost area is echocardiography. I'm referring to adult echo. So, where do you see ourselves in the next decade? Radiologists
Yes.
doing, echo?
We in Maharashtra radiology conferences, state conferences, and CME are giving confidence to all the younger generation that you are doing best fetal echocardiography. Similarly, you can do the adult echo also. So we are keeping sessions of adult echocardiography, giving hands-on training to radiologists to these perform adult echos, and I am very sure that in near future all the radiologists will be doing adult echo and will expand their turf definitely.
And also, earlier, maybe 2-3 decades ago, we did not have a cardiac CT or cardiac MR. So now we
Yes.
have multimodality approach. So that itself adds to our strength. The radiologist who does ultrasound, that is echo of heart, can easily relate with the anatomy and the functional informations we get on CT MR. So probably that would accelerate our journey in cardiac imaging.
Yes. Cardiac imaging is really helpful. Sometimes it can even be used as a screening technique for all the coronary blockages. And before going to the catheter angio, if you can just the screening of use of cardiac CT is increasing day by day. And I think I'm very sure it's a very good technique which is non-invasive and no risk of anything is involved in cardiac imaging. So more and more cardiologists will use it, and we can give the best early cardiac diagnosis with cardiac imaging.
Absolutely. And it is all about, detecting the motions initially as an indicator of, the stuck heart. And having radiologists having done so many, the tiny hearts, the fetal echo, I think the next jump to adult echo should not be a very difficult one.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you, Dr. Mangesh. It was really wonderful talking to you.
It's my pleasure to be on your dais and expressing my views. Thank you, Madhavji, for the opportunity, and will like to see you more often on this platform.
Thank you so much, Mangesh. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Good night.